Hello, today is October 15, 2024. Okay, let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, I will host today's meeting. Okay. Yeah, please add your name in the attendees. Okay. But first, let's let's review the action item from the last meeting. From the last meeting, we will finish the evaluation of the existing ADC operator. Yeah, we already finished the evaluating the 3 existing ADC operator. The first is the Gardener, and the second one is the Lexi CoreOS ADC operator. The third one is the Helix. Yeah, most of the evaluation are done. Yeah, most of the evaluation are done by the James and Josh. James, are you going to talk about the evaluation?
Team, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. Sorry, I thought I was having some mic problems there. That was interesting. So yeah, team, we've put together as a working group an evaluation of some of the key existing operators. The 3 are Gardener, Druid, the old CoreOS etcd operator, and the Annex operator. It didn't take long going through each one of these to find things that were only, for example, partially supported or weren't supported. So it didn't sort of matter which operator you looked at. There were features that that are on our roadmap that weren't there or only partially there. I won't go into too much detail, team. There are a couple of additional notes under each that folks can have a quick look at. There's some interesting things there. Obviously, for the CoreOS operator, it was so old that it was sort of discounted. The interesting thing for the etcd Druid operator, if you go up, Benjamin, is the if you just scroll up, sorry, Benjamin. Team, can you hear me? Can you scroll up to the Gardener one for a second? Sorry. Yep. So if we look at the additional notes there, so they don't use the official etcd image. They do their own thing with an embedded server, which was a little bit interesting to have a read through. So encourage anyone that's curious, have a look through the doc. If you have anything you want to contribute to the doc, go for it. But it's at this point, it's sort of informed our pathway forward. I'll hand back to you, Benjamin, if you want to add anything further.
Yeah, basically the evaluation is based on my previous evaluation. Yeah. Okay, I don't have any additional comments for the evaluation results. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, thank you, James and Josh. So based on the evaluation results, we the ADCD, the working group have decided to create the official ADCD operator from scratch. Just send the announcement. Let me add the to. Yeah, go back to. Yeah, there are 2 reasons why we decided to start from scratch. The first reason, no any existing operator to fully support all the top 10 features in our roadmap. The second reason is some operator also implemented some features which are not aligned our priorities. So we are going to make sure the official ADC operator is as simple as possible. Yeah. But we are open to reuse partially reuse the existing source code of the existing operator or ADC operator. Yeah, we are also hope to any contributor can help us to implement the 0.1 version. Yeah, we don't we don't want to spend too much time to qualify to review the source code of the existing edit operator. We just want to start from scratch, and we partially reuse the existing source code, partially reuse the source code. Okay. Yeah, this is the evaluation. Is there any comments on this before we move on to the next topic?
Just a very quick, actually a thank you from me, team. So it's been a little bit of a process just to go through and refresh some of the analysis that Benjamin had done earlier on the existing operators. It was something that we needed to do as a working group because we'd called that out in our charter as something that we needed to pull together. So we sort of have that now as a working group. But thanks for everyone's patience as we got that pulled together. And thanks for the people that contributed to that.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Jim. So the next step, we will go to focus on the development on the 0.1. Yeah, this is the priority for now. But another topic before we go to another topic, we probably need to add the evaluation result into the repo, right? Use a PR to use the PR to the evaluation result. So yeah. Yeah, this is we need probably action item for yeah. Okay, the next topic is the 0.1 design doc. Yeah, this definitely is the priority. It take a long time. We get to this. This is just a very high, just I mentioned in previous meeting. This is just a very high level design doc. So we need the contributor to help to break down the design. For example, the first one is to use the stateful set to manage the LCD port. This is a high-level decision. And the most important one is for the workflow, reconciliation workflow. This is the most important one. But this is, I draw this diagram probably 4 or 5 months before. So we don't have to follow exactly the same workflow, but just for your reference. So if anyone interested in work on this, please feel free to reach out offline. We can discuss the details. Yeah, this is the stateful set. The second big point is for the CRD and KubeBuilder. We are going to define the CRD and then use KubeBuilder to create the API in the first step. Yeah, we in the future, the CRD most likely will be more and more complicated. But in the first step, I would like to make the CRD as small as possible. For example, look at the example. For example, this is an example for the CR. Only support the size and the version. Size means how many members in the cluster, and which version we are going to use for the LCD. Yeah, we only support 2 fields in the first step. In the first step, we can just define the CRD and use the KubeBuilder to generate the API in the first step. We can create a PR to do it. When we use KubeBuilder to generate API, we do not change anything, just create PR to get this included in the repo. In the next step, we are going to go back to this, to how to implement the workflow. Yeah, probably the next topic is the certificate management. Certificate management is a little complicated. Yeah, we are most likely we will use the certificate manager to manage the certificate in the first step. But in the long term, we are not directly depend on any specific third-party dependency. Yeah, we will use for example, the LCD operator will depend on the API to manage the certificates. But in the first step, we will just use the certificate manager. certificate manager to manage the certificates. Yeah, this is high level design. For example, the LCD operator can create multiple LCD cluster, right? For each cluster, it just mounts the secret into the port. We can load the certificate, private key, etc. into the port. But LCD operator need to depend on a certificate provider, its API provider, to manage the certificate. For example, we can have multiple. We can have different type of provider. For example, certificate manager provider and the manual provider. The operator can manually create the certificates, private key, etc., and then manually create a secret. But from the LCD operator, from the LCD cluster perspective, it doesn't care about how the certificate is generated. It just mount the certificate into the port and load the certificate, load the private key. That's, yeah. The secret is the interface between the LCD cluster and the certificate provider. Yeah, this is just high-level diagram. So we need the contributors' help to break down how to implement each kind of provider. But just as I mentioned in the 0.1 version, we don't need to add the API. We can add the API in the next step. For example, in 0.2 or even 0.3, we can, for the 0.1, we can just use the certificate manager to manage the certificate directly. Yeah, probably the certificate manager is the most important and most of the complicated components for the LCD operator. Yeah, in the health monitor, we don't have to add health monitor in the 0.1. Yeah, it's not that important. It's not blocker for the 0.1, but it's nice to have. Yeah, just as I mentioned, is the design is a very high level design. We need contributors' help to break down the details. Okay, let's go back to. So in the first step, I would like to, in the first step, we can just define CRD and use Google Builder, generate the API. Okay, yeah, okay, I think this pretty simple. It's an easy, it's very simple first step. We can create a PR to do this. In the next step, we can focus on the of course, we need to discuss.
Bogdan, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I just had a question about this. So just a little bit of background. So we have our sort of internal operator. I spoke to people who wrote the operator and how we can kind of contribute. And also the bigger question, like, let's say this is done, so we'll need to have some points of extension. So there's some stuff, let's say, that, like that we need to do in the reconcile loop. And I think what we're gonna go for is just keep a list of patches against sort of this operator that will be available, and then sort of, extend the reconcile function with whatever functionality we need. So I don't know if other people like have, gonna do the same, or is this maybe, special use case, meaning that maybe it's a good idea to think about like how to, how people can, sort of privately extend, like add some functionality in the reconcile loop. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit too early to think about it, but I just wanted to mention this, right? So even like, I mean, we're okay with doing patches. I'm not sure there's like a better way necessarily, but yeah, something I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
For example, you need like when you create your reconcile loop, right? You create your stateful pods. And then you need to, let's say, enable some networking that is like, special to So you need to basically make a call to some, another API, for example, right? Stuff like that. That won't be really like possible to, it doesn't make sense to, make it available in the open source operator, right? So then you need like a patch up the reconcile loop. And that's for us, that's probably will be, for sure, we're gonna do that. So the question becomes, does it make sense to, like, if a lot of people are gonna do that, right, that might make sense to, I don't know, even to the point where you like have a section in the code where, like, people supposed to put their modifications on, things like that, right? Or maybe it can be more dynamic where you load something up. I don't know, but that's sort of one of the concerns.
Okay. So
I can comment to the doc if it's better.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please make sure to add comments in the document. I'm not fully follow all the details, but if I understand correctly, you mentioned to make sure the reconciling workflow is extensible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's a high level. We can have more discussion offline, but yeah, we don't have to make a decision in this meeting right now. But yeah, we need to compare the benefits and what's the advantage and disadvantage. We compare we need to make a analysis, detailed analysis.
Yeah, okay, I'll comment to the doc. I was just
Yeah,
also
please.
wondering if other people have sort of the similar concern or not at all, but yeah, okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I think it might be too early to consider extension mechanisms, but I don't disagree to leave some space for them if we are prescient on how to do it exactly. It's a little bit tricky. Oftentimes you break your foot in the alpha, then it's kind of difficult to extend the mechanism of the whole project further down the road. I wanted to highlight something that Cluster API is doing, which is really fascinating, but also perhaps a little bit complicated for the very early stages of the etcd operator. You can check the link that I shared. So the summary of the mechanism. It's a runtime extension. There's a runtime hook, which you can develop. You can add your own controller that connects to the target controller, which in this case is going to be the etcd operator controller, and you can extend the mechanism in any way the etcd controller allows you to. And it's really, I'm just, brushing the surface here. It's a really powerful mechanism. But I think this is something later that can be investigated, and we can bring people from Cluster API that can, maybe Fabrizio can join the call and just drop a few explanations on how they are doing it. But this is really powerful, and I think this is probably the most potent way to extend any controller with its CRDs and the reconciliation loop that it does.
There's a
Yes.
similar-ish idea in the crossplane arena with their composite resource definitions, where you're sort of piggybacking their reconciliation loop for your own extension, sort of custom resources. Yeah, it's an interesting approach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
generally I agree with Lubomir. Yeah, it's too early to make such the feature. Yeah, we can think about it in the future release, but for the 0.1, I would like to make sure it's as simple as possible. We can follow the agile development, make sure we can make the 0.1 out as soon as possible.
Yeah, as soon as you release the operator, people will ask for extensibility. It's a standard way, basically, especially in cloud native. People just want to customize right away. I don't know what is perhaps one of the first things that has to be customizable is probably the YAML deployment. People want to do that deployment to be templated and etc. But yeah, my point is that there are a lot of things about the extensibility that has to be considered.
Okay. Okay, for the let's go back to the reconciliation workflow. Actually, I have POC projects a couple months before. Let's share with you guys. 1 second. Can you see my browser?
Yep.
Yeah, this is a demo. This is a POC I did 5 months ago. Just right after the KubeCon Paris, I did a simple POC for the operator. Yeah, the quality controller, yeah. Yeah, this sync. This example just follow the in the example controller in the Kubernetes wrapper. Follow that pattern. I do the simple POC. Yeah, this is most important method. Sync handle. So I'm not going to go through the detail. Just for your reference. This reconciling workflow. Yeah, just as I mentioned, we need the first probably this is an action item. So we just mentioned we would like to keep the 0.1 as small as possible. So the priority for now is to discuss how to make sure we can move progress little by little. We have something to discuss. We have something to demo on next meeting. This is a priority to me. We don't have to discuss too much fancy, too much advanced feature. I want to spend too much time to discuss the future for the next release. We just discuss what we can do demo in the next meeting. We follow the agile development. So there are 2 action items to me for now. The first is to get the evaluation result to merge into the repo. This is the first item. The second item just define the CRD and use Kubebuilder to generate API. Just raise the API to merge into the repo. And others, does anyone have any suggestion how we can move forward a little more?
I just wanted to comment on the second point. So define the CRD. This is Ben. Are you going to draft the API as the original author?
Oh yeah. For example, this in the design doc, there's CRD Kubebuilder. There's a section.
Okay.
Most likely, the CRD just something like this.
All right.
For example, we only support, for example, size. How many members in the cluster? And we can remove the registry. We don't need the registry. How many members in the cluster? And which version are we going to use? We're going to support 2 fields in the first step. In the future, most likely we will extend the CRD in the next version, for example, 0.2 or 0.3. But for the 0.1, we only support 2 fields.
So do you think the group should follow the Kubernetes group, which is for subprojects, which is x-case.io? I don't have it on top of my mind, but it's a different group basically. I think you're following a group that is I think what I'm trying to say is that maybe we should do a quick API review. So the question is, where should we do it? Should we do it on the Google Doc, or do you think we should on a GitHub pull request? I mean, since you're drafting, it's your choice, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it's good point. Yeah, I would probably just the PR. With the PR, we can add a comment on the PR. Could be as simple as possible. Is that okay for you?
Sure, of course. I'll definitely review the CRD as soon as possible.
Okay, sure.
Just in also
Okay, sure. Justin?
I had a suggestion about something like a sort of next step, which is I think one of the things that I think we did quite well in etcd Manager was establish a good testing regime. Like I think if we try to make sure that we have some form of test coverage, it will make us sort of focus us on like execution, right? So can we, whether it's GitHub Actions or Prow, like can we get basic E2E tests running in kind, even if they initially fail, right? Like kind or whatever it is.
Okay, yeah, good points. Yeah, testing is important. I agree, but probably we need some help. But yeah, we need help to
Some of
get
this
set up the test.
So I was talking about this as an action item, like, you know, like I can send some PRs to like set up some test stuff, right? Like it's if we have a CRD and we have a basic operator, we should be able to say like apply this, bring up kind cluster, apply CRD, try to reach etcd from a test pod, right? And that should ideally pass. It's not going to pass on day one, but it can be something we're working towards getting to pass as our 0.01 or whatever it is.
Yeah, we also have to build a controller, right? Maybe locally, you have to have Docker builds enabled, right? If it's running in the Prow cluster, it has to be Docker in Docker, so Docker has to be running inside the whatever pod that Prow gives you. Yeah, it's doable, yes, of course, but yeah, I mean, well, we can ask the SIG testing and kind folks to help us as well. Yeah.
Just a quick
Justin?
note.
Go ahead, sorry, James.
Really keen for us to head to Prow as a first destination team. We've got a lot of backlog of moving things off GitHub Actions to Prow. So if we can start in the right place, that saves us a little bit of pain. Yeah, thanks, team.
Yeah, you know, we need help. Does anyone have some experience or have some bandwidth to help us set up the initial test? We need help.
I can help review some Prow stuff and contribute to some test stuff too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to share that we also saw tests in our etcd Ionix etcd operator, and we're using kind and run end-to-end tests. So I think some logic can be simply borrowed from there.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't post link right now, but it should be easily found.
Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, we can do tests now. Okay, Justin. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah. For the CRD.
Yeah, if I remember well, it also uses default kube builder testing suite. So I think it might be really easy, just copy paste some tests.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, with the PR to probably I'm not sure. The Josh has some bandwidth to do this.
I can do that one, team. I just wanted to ask, do we want to just take like a point in time PDF of the Google Doc, or do like as like an artifact and put that in a directory in the docs, or do we want a link to like the live Google Doc in case it gets changed later? Like which direction do we want to go?
Personally, I think PDF should be okay. We don't want the we should make sure the don't depend on any third party link.
Yeah, it's a point in time. Yeah, cool. I can do that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, seems like we have a lot of action items to do for the next meeting. That's good. Yeah. Let's go back to for the certificate management, probably needs a long-term investment. We need long-term investment for this big topic. I see Arka have some interest in this. Arka is not in this meeting. Okay, I will reach out to Arka offline to make sure he have some long-term investment on this. Any other-
Good morning. Okay. Who else we can? Sean and Vic are probably wrestling with
Probably.
previous occupants. Up in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, is there any other topic we are going to talk about in this meeting? Okay, we still have some time. We still,
I mean, Andre's hand. Andre, is that a still hand or?
Andrea,
No, sorry. That was previous one.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Ah,
oh, no worry.
is it the same shot or different shots?
We're also getting a lot of noise.
Not sure which
Let me mute.
COVID-19 vaccine is it, but
Okay.
he still need those. Unfortunately, some. Yeah, just on the operating.
Okay, how can I mute the?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Look
in the operator, that's the operating. Oh, okay.
I don't know if anyone knows.
Okay,
How's
just
that?
missing Sean, I don't know, if he's in the office or what.
I don't know how to mute other people. I don't know.
We can probably call it there for today, team. I think we've got a few clear action points
well,
to
Yeah,
dive
sure.
into.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we have already got a lot of the action item. Even though that's other topic, we can finish today's meeting. Yeah. See you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, team. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, bye.